As you may probably know by now, most people will open your emails on their phone. So of course it goes without saying, but it is kind of important to make sure the content you send is optimized for their devices, meaning their phone. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering how to optimize your email designs for mobile and double, or to be honest, triple your conversions with email marketing. So with that being said, let me dive right into it. Before I dive into the different steps to take in order to make sure like the designs are optimized for mobile, let's talk about some extremely important stuff that you might probably know already or not. So these days, checking emails on the go is a breeze thanks to smartphones and tablets. Depending on your industry and who you're targeting, you can expect anywhere between 25 to 75% of your emails to be open on mobile devices. I'd say more than that, to be honest with you, more like 50 to 75%. So this shift towards mobile email use is not slowing down. Also, important to note that nearly a quarter of people who first open an email on their phone will give it another look later, often on their computer, which is really important. This second glance on a bigger screen makes them much more likely to click through. So that's why, again, it is very important to make sure the first email they see, which is on their phones, is optimized. So yeah, making your emails mobile friendly is crucial. If you don't, you risk losing half of your audience right off the bat, like that. And they just delete your emails that don't look good on their phones, right? All that effort you put into crafting your message, design, etc., offers could go down the drain if it is not optimized for mobile. So all this to say that right now, like most people, again, use their phones to check their emails, social media, etc. And I see many brands just sending emails and just previewing their emails on desktop, right? Not even previewing, like previewing on their Klaviyo account, for example, for desktop, and that's pretty much it, right? Instead, you should make sure that the email you create is optimized by previewing it with mobile on your actual phone to make sure it is looking pretty good, right? And that's something I'm going to cover later. But with that being said, let me dive into different steps to take in order to make sure your design is optimized for mobile. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you optimize your above the fold. So the above the fold section is the most important module of your entire email. Your ATF, so above the fold, is your hook, just like a Facebook ad, right? So it is critical to make sure people understand the offer, the angle of the email within the first 3 seconds. The headline, first subheadline, and first CTA should be all about the fold. Everything needs to be conveyed right away. So don't waste valuable real estate as most people skim through the emails. So what is, by the way, the above the fold section? The above the fold section is everything that comes before. When you open an email, the above the fold section is everything that comes before the first scroll on your phone. So meaning this section right here, right? I opened up these emails on my phone. I took these screenshots and I just didn't scroll. So this section right here, and this one for this one is the above the fold section. And as you can see here, they are optimized for these two emails because I can clearly understand what the email is about within the first 3 seconds very clearly. Plus, we can definitely see a CTA here as well. We see a headline, accompanying body copy, CTA, same thing here. I just understand what the email is about, the offer, everything, just before scrolling, because you want to catch people's attention and make them convert ASAP. Here, on the other hand, we've got 2 examples that don't really work they're not optimized on the above the fold section. So here we've got are you looking to supercharge your daily routine? Look no further, and free something here that I just don't understand what this is. No CTA, no nothing. So it's pretty vague, not very optimized whatsoever. And here cover stories, that's pretty much it, right? So it's not really optimized. Another point, which is, by the way, I'm going to cover later, is that as you can see for this email right here, the logo is not visible whatsoever because it is a black logo on dark background because of dark mode. And that's something I'm going to cover later, as mentioned before, because that's kind of important, very important as well. So that being said, second step is to be aware of dark mode. Some studies show over 80% of phone users use dark mode. This wide adoption of dark mode means it is extremely important to optimize your emails for it if you want to maximize revenue and improve your customer experience, right? So these are the steps that you need to follow to make sure your email will look good in dark mode. First things first, use transparent PNGs. So all the images, slices you use, they should probably have transparent backgrounds overall. If it is, for example, a product shot, make sure the the PNG has a transparent background for the most part, right? And this is ideally, right? Secondly, which is kind of what I mentioned before, is make sure the email your logo has a white outline glow in order for the logo to be visible on dark mode. For example, as I mentioned before here, if this had a kind of outline glow, it'd be visible, right? So make sure your black, if your logo is black or of a darker color, it has a white outline glow, right? Thirdly, be mindful of just color changes and adapt your design. Like white becomes black, black becomes white. I don't know, like a red color becomes kind of a darker shade of color. So make sure like you use your brain and just make sure you're basically mindful of color changes. And most importantly, that you actually send a preview to your phone before scheduling the email. Klaviyo's preview or semblance, whatever, might be misleading, and every device inbox provider, i.e. Gmail, Outlook, whatever, is different. So preview your email on your phone prior to sending to ensure quality, right? I just cannot tell how many times we've saved our asses by doing this right here. So make sure you essentially like preview your email on your actual phone, right? Very, very, very important. Thirdly, make sure the color contrasts are visible. This is pretty simple, but things are smaller on mobile, so make it easy, make it as easy as possible to visualize your emails. Your branding guidelines should have colors that complement each other, and this is particularly important for email designs here. For instance, by the way, we see all over again the same logo mistake here, where it's not visible because it is black on dark background, but here this is not visible. This is the contrast is not there, and especially on your phone where everything, as mentioned before, is smaller, it's just very, very hard to read. So make sure the color contrasts are optimized for right, for human eyes, right, human vision. Moving on, we've got make sure the fonts are large and clear enough. You see, if your emails are graphic based, then make sure the fonts in the designs are large enough so they're visible on mobile. The reason why is that since they're images, the text is not responsive, so of course it's not gonna get converted automatically, right? So here, for example, we can definitely see everything is pretty clear. I can skim through it very easily. I can read everything very clearly on my phone, etc., etc. It's large enough and clear enough. They're using fonts that are clear enough, right? On the other hand, here, this is really, really small, right? Same thing goes here. Even on my desktop right now, I'm having a very hard time reading this, and you can imagine on the phone is way smaller. So this is just not optimized whatsoever. So make sure again the fonts on your designs are large enough, right? And by the way, for email designs, people just don't want to read a novel. They just want to read like very small and concise paragraphs, and that's pretty much just a very short and punchy copy overall for your emails. People just don't read. That's the reality of it. Okay. Fourth, use lots of white space. Nothing worse than email with a ton of elements cramped together. It's not readable, and most people will close the email. That's how it is, right? So make sure you use enough white space so all the elements plus the copy of your email, they flow well and look great. It just makes the entire customer experience better and looks more aesthetic. So here, it flows really well. They have white space. It just flows, right? The copy, everything looks really good. And we have white space, nothing cramped together. Whereas here, this is too much, right? Many stuff just basically or very close to each other, many elements, stuff like that. I just hate these emails, to be honest with you. And that's something you don't really want to do. I'm going to give you credit though. The above default section is optimized for sure. We've got headline, accompanied body copy, and then ACTA, which is good, but again, they're just not using white space whatsoever. Fifth, we've got keep subject lines and preview text short. I know this is not about like email, this is not related to email designs per se, but it is kind of important for your emails overall to be optimized for mobile. And of course, subject lines and preview text are part of your email. So make sure they're short. So keep them less than 35 characters, shorter if possible, concise, compelling, clickbaity. And then use odd numbers, say a bold statement, ask a generic or intriguing question. Those are very good techniques for your subject lines. For example, if your subject line or preview text is too long, it just basically gets cut out like this one right here. Same thing goes here, same thing goes here. So make sure your subject lines are shorter, on the shorter side of things, okay? And that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching right here. If you're running an e-commerce brand doing over 50K per month right now and you want a reliable email marketing team with over 4 years of experience and over $20 million generated in email revenue, then I would love to have a chat with you. Feel free to use my Calendly. It's gonna be in the description box below, so feel free to book it down directly. You can go over your Klaviyo account, put together a specific plan of attack, see if we can work together. If we can, I'll make you an offer. And if it makes financial sense for you, we'll be more than happy to help you out with your email revenue and scale your brand, especially right now that we're heading into Q4. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.